Okay, we there. Right. Yeah, so it's a little early. I just gotta make sure everything works. Because at my age, there's a lot of times it doesn't always work. Yeah. And they're all screwed up. That's more the case than anything else, is me screwing it up versus not working, or at least trying to make it work. So, okay, give me a minute or two, and we get people that get here. Well, you know, let's start about 2-3 minutes after the hour. I got a lot of stuff I want to share with you that I found. A lot of it really in today's newspaper. Man, there's so much going on out there that they just throw it at me. That's I can't stop this stuff, man. It's there. Problems to be solved, and that people don't know about the way to solve these problems. And it's out there. There's a lot of help out there. It's Joe from Harrisburg again. Oh, Wyatt, Joe from Harrisburg. Well, I'm Matthew from Wilkes-Barre originally. That's right. And I always jumped around in my seat at school, and I was thrown out of classes, so many classes. That's why I thought my middle name in school was Sit Down, Lesko. Sit down, Lesko. And I wish somebody, a teacher, said, hey, that's a talent maybe you could develop. No, all it did is got me thrown out of school. And then not until I became a grown-up did I make a lot of money with ants in my pants. And, hi, Eric from Chicago. That's great. We are twins in Pennsylvania. Wow, well, yes. Everyone else in Pennsylvania is twins. That's good. Where do you get all the energy? I get the energy because I appreciate what I'm doing. I mean, I think I'm the most selfish person in the world. I mean, to me, life is... The ultimate in his life is having something to get up every morning, and then you can't wait to do it. Like if I used to love to play golf. Man, and to me the best joy was going out on the golf course and playing lousy golf. And I said, boy, I could do work like that and figure out how to get paid in something I really enjoy doing. And so that's my life work, is really trying to show other people. Oh, Pittsburgh, another Pennsylvania. Well, only people from Pennsylvania watch? Is that going on here? You have to be from Pennsylvania? No! You could be anybody. That's what's nice about the internet. Boy, I used to do TV 20, 30 years ago or whatever, and it was only like 3 stations or cable and all that kind of stuff and brick production. Now I just have a little iPhone and turn it on. And it's the same thing. Oh, we got a minute after. Let's wait another minute or two before we start the real stuff. Texas, her. I guess Texas here is what you meant. Texas here. Love your work. Oh, I love hearing that. And I think that's the other thing, boy, in life. When somebody says they appreciate what you're doing, man, what could be better than that? What kind of love? No matter how much money somebody gets, that's still an empty heart in my mind. If you're not helping somebody else, and that's what's the joy of my life is, that I could give somebody, a phone, like on my Let's Talk last night. If you go to lesko.com/talk, I mean, for just $1 a minute, so we're looking 10 minutes, I was able to help this single mom, not only find money to buy a house, money to send her kid to school, all in 10 minutes, and then I send the links for them, and that's boy, it's just a wonderful thing, at least for me, I feel. Maybe I'm just selfish, and that's why I think giving is very selfish, because it feels so good. And that's the key to life. Okay, let's get into it. I got a lot of research to do yet today. I got a lot of clients I got to do research reports for. Okay, now here's one thing. If you have student loans, somebody has student loans. Really, what's happening now, it's turning into like what the housing crash turned into. So many people didn't have to pay for the mortgage because of the loan companies screwed up on the paperwork. In the New York Times today, you probably see this upside down or inside out or whatever, but here's the title. If you Google New York Times, lost paperwork may ease student debts of tens of thousands of students don't have to pay their loans. That's incredible to me. Look at all these things you're worrying about. and you don't have to pay for it. Now let's see, where the heck is, okay, now so how do you find out more? I mean, get that article, read it, it'll give you ammunition on what to look for. But these people that are suing you and taking you to court, actually, it's a lot of windbags. They don't even have a case because they don't have the paperwork anymore. And they go to court and they're losing. And actually, what they're planning on, the cases they win, are the people who don't show up. So that's it. See, a bully, now these are bullies, and so the bullies win if you don't show up. But if you show up and have the strength or get free legal help, now here, how do you get free legal help to do that? Okay, to fight these people. Okay, here's the ways to do it. Okay. Like this woman who got rid of like $30,000 worth of debt, she had the National Consumer Law Center. This is a national nonprofit organization that works on this. So this is a good place, okay? National Consumer Law Center. See, what you're looking for to solve a lot of problems in life is not a lawyer who specializes in that, because they want to charge you $300 an hour, You're looking for an advocacy group. These are nonprofit organizations that don't get paid to do their work, but they're getting grant money to help you get justice. Now, what could be better than that? That's better than paying $300 an hour to get justice, right? So this is one of the big consumer organizations, advocacy group. Here it is again, National Consumer Law Center, okay? And they do reports on all this. They know about it. They can point you to legal help. Like the legal aid in your area, but there's a lot of nonprofit law centers too all over that do things for free. And to find them, if you go to 211.org and put in legal help, okay, that's the way to search for this. I mean, don't search for a lawyer. You're going to get 100 of those by throwing a rock. You got a phone, you got a lawyer, as the ad says. But you don't want them because they got to spend money. You want to know where to get this help for free. Hundreds of cases has been dismissed when borrowers challenge them, according to lawyers, often because the trust they don't have the paperwork. See, the financial services industry got so convoluted, so you got a loan from somebody, some private organization. Now, this isn't happening with the government, because the government, if you can't pay, they say that's okay. These are private student loans that people have, where the people from Detroit are coming after and say, hey, we're going to break your kneecaps if you don't pay this student loan, and they're the ones, that you could get relief on if you learn about it. So either the Legal Aid Society where you are, remember, you're always looking for .gov or .org for this kind of help. You don't want to go to .coms or even .nets yet, not in this kind of stuff. And there's a couple of big companies. See, what they were doing, apparently, from this article, it's a huge article. I mean, this is, the whole thing. So that's why, if you have this, because you're, what, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in debt, why screw around? That there's a way out of it and live, because they have the fear factor, because you don't know law, you don't know anything. Oh, gosh, I'm going to go to jail, or they're going to take my firstborn, or, all this kind of stuff. That goes through your head. Actually, I had another article I wanted to make sure I get. And so, you're behind the 8 ball. You're swinging and you don't have any justice on your side, but you can get it on your side. And that's the important thing. Okay, so contact National Consumer Law Center, go to 211. And also, if you have student loans too, and they're not from a private, find out how to get them reduced. Actually, a fella just called me, maybe you're listening to on Facebook. He said, yeah, he made millions of dollars. I don't know how much. He said he made a lot of money in the student debt business. And he wants to know, he's offering me free help, I guess, to let people know that there's answers to these things. So that's why there's a lot of money. That means there's a lot of shenanigans going on. The sharks are all over this when that happens. Consumerfinance.gov. Consumerfinance.gov. Gov. If you have a student debt, you go to that website and you put in student debt or repay student debt, and you'll see she'll give you an 800 number of an ombudsman. Ombudsman is somebody who takes your side of the issue. So that's why the government even set up somebody to help you through all that problem, and they're the student debt ombudsman. Isn't that a great name? I'm an ombudsman. It sounds like you work for the Pope, doesn't it? And that's it. So consumerfinance.gov. So okay, the whole thing here, if you have a student debt from a private organization and you haven't paid, find out about, hey, they probably don't have the paperwork. So if they're coming after you, you have a good chance you don't have to pay that shit, but they don't know you know, and that's what happens. So they're going to scare the pants off you, and you won't show up, and then they get a judgment against you, and they have the right to take your children or whatever it is. But if you learn your rights, then that's where the power comes in, and you get power in the system. And see, to me, a government person who wrote the law is more powerful than any attorney you're going to pay $300 an hour for, because they wrote the law. Yeah, they could sue these people and put them out of business. So that's what's cool about that. Whatever. Okay, here's another thing. The housing. Okay, another article that I'm an old-time guy in newspaper. On the weekend, I use my wife has bad eyes, so she looks like reads the paper, and we're getting rid of them slowly. But their housing costs put California in crisis mode. The average cost in California for a house is $500,000. Average, $500,000. Man, that's crazy. So how is the average person? I mean, who could afford $500,000? I mean, what's that, 10% of the country or something like that? Nobody. So it's going crazy out there for housing. But there's so many programs that are subsidized to help you buy a house, and most of those programs are for down payment money, anywhere from $5,000, $10,000, $30,000. I've even seen $40,000, of down payment money to buy a house, and closing costs. So a lot of these programs that I read, because I do this research every day for people all over the country. Hey, I want to know about all the housing programs in my community. So that's what I do, research. I'll show you 100, 150 programs, so in doing that research, I see, and so many of these communities, you could buy a house with just $500 in your pocket. That's all you need. They give you down payment money, they give you closing cost money, all these kinds of things. Then when you get in trouble paying, there's even at the state government, there's programs, most states now, see, everything's different in every city and county. By the way, somebody asked about my $1 a minute thing. Yeah, that's on Lesko.com/talk. Talk. Just make an appointment there, and usually in 10, 15 minutes or whatever, man, I'll inundate you with more sources of the best sources in the world to get free money to solve any problem you have. And I send you the links and everything, so you don't even have to do the research. But the housing, see, those programs, you can start finding them yourself. And what you do is you go to your county government. Your county and city government have the best potential. There's 3 places: your county, your city, and your state. So go, you know the name of your city, you know the name of your state, so all you have to do is put that in your Google, yes, $1 a minute, and put that in Google. Somebody's putting questions up and I'm trying to answer them. You know the names of the state, and then you'll see and make sure that the websites you go to are only .gov or .org, because what happens, you have realtors and everything pretending they're the source of the state governments and everything like this, and everybody selling you homes are pretending that they know about these programs, but they're not the horse's mouth. See, and they're not making as much money off of a government program that gives it away free versus one of their buddies in the financial services industry that's charging a lot of money and they can make a bigger commission on. So that's why go to the horse's mouth and get the real information first before you go to any of these other people, for information. And that, like I say, the places to start are your state, your county, and your city. And then there's nonprofit organizations. I don't know if you know about Habitat for Humanity. You could get a house half price. Now you have to volunteer. You'd volunteer to do work to help other people get houses too, but then you get a house half price. So you get a $500,000 house for $250,000. Wow! I mean, that's incredible to me. There's nowhere else in the world you're going to get something like that. So that's what's neat. You have to know about these programs, to be able to take advantage, because these people that give it out like that, they're not going door to door or emailing you with spam and things like that. The gentrification is rampant. So you have to find these things yourself. And somebody said in New York City, yes, a lot of programs for that. Sure, it's going to be all relative, but most of it is down payment money and closing. And that's the hurdle for most of us. We don't have that kind of upfront money. Let's see and learn how to remember. I remember your infomercial. Stand out. How do you get student loans paid down? Okay, for the government programs for student loans, I gave you earlier, it's consumerfinance.gov. Consumerfinance.gov. Now, there's another thing about student loans. I found today in the newspaper. Again, actually it was in the style section. What did you do with it? Did you take that newspaper? I just had it here. But the Arts College at Harvard, they stopped. The Arts College at Harvard stopped. Because the government said they were screwing students with their student loans. They were getting, $70,000, $80,000 student loans, and the government complained. So they stopped taking students. This is the biggest, college in the country. Got caught with their, hand in the till or whatever. I don't know the specific. But if you go to the arts section of the New York Times, you'll read about that. So they stopped. No more doing. They're going to take 3 years to figure out how they screwed up. And they've been screwing students all this time. So that's why you have to be careful. Look at something like that. The most prestigious university we had, gets caught by the government for screwing students with money. I mean, that's astounding to me. And that's why, even now, I just saw data in the last week or two, the average person who's going to college this year is just paying half of sticker price. They're paying half. That's what the average college is giving out. Whatever their sticker is, they're really only charging half, because there's all kind of deals, all kinds of things to do, because they're all getting screwed. I mean, people are wising up. Man, it's stupid to pay $50,000 a year, and what the hell you're getting? You're getting a job at $25,000 a year. Now that's crazy. And I think that will slowly change. I mean, we're still in a credential society. Everybody wants you to have a pedigree and all that kind of stuff, because they don't know how to judge any other way. And that's why I think that's slowly changing, because now the student loan bubble will cause it to change. People are going to wise up. Why am I paying all this money and just getting a shitty job anyway? That's crazy. You could go and get a skill. You go down to your workforce development center, and they'll send you a training course for free. They'll pay $8,000 for you to get a skill that you could start at a higher pay level than you would if you came out of college with a BS degree, So that's what people have to know, and that's what's really, I think, happening. Sure, it's not going to all happen overnight and things like that, but it's changing, and that's where the growth is, in this credentialed society and pedigrees and all that kind of stuff. That's slowing down. Now, the other thing I talked about here was how to make money making home-cooked meals. And this is really part of the Uberization of our society, the shared economy, all the disruption that is happening in our society. And this is another indication of this. I mean, these guys, here's two guys in Chicago. What they do, they used to be roommates living together, okay? They're living, and what they did, they took turns cooking for each other, because going out to eat, I mean, you're spending $20 a pop or whatever, going out to eat every night, that's a lot of money. You could cook at home for like $2 or $3, that's it. So what they're doing now, they have an app. So if you're cooking dinner, Okay, now here's what you do. So you're cooking dinner, and it costs you $2, $3 per plate to cook dinner. Okay, you cook an extra 6, 7 plates of dinner. Okay, you put it on this app even beforehand. I'm going to cook this. How many people want this tonight? You know, it'll be ready at 6 o'clock. Okay, and you charge, you know, $6, $10 or whatever for it. You know, and so there. So you made an extra 50, 60 bucks. Just by cooking a few extra plates of food for that night. Man, and see, there's an app for that. An app. See, this is what the cloud is doing. You know, the cloud is demystifying and getting rid of all the pain in the ass stuff that used to come with trying to do things. I mean, just if you try to do that before the cloud. I mean, you have to get a phone chain or something like that, or go door to door with little slips of paper, and then how do you tell them when it's ready? How do you everything? So all you do, I mean, it is open your phone and you punch a button. I'll be there in 30 minutes. And it's all gone. See, this is what's happening in our lives. And this is why that is growing, that side of it. Okay, what is that called? And now it's just in beta. It's just starting in Chicago. So if it takes off, it's where take a look at this. You could start one where you are, okay? It's Shamil, like Shamil, Shamazel, there's something. SHMEAL.co, not .com, .co. I guess like a share, meal.co. And you read all about it there, and it's a clever idea. But see, for anything you have, a new entrepreneur idea or whatever, take these things as indicators of what's going on, where the market's going, what's going on in our life. So you can get on that wave, and you're not left at the beach as the wave went out. The wave's going back to the ocean. You want to be out there and coming in with it, right? As the wave is coming in, not being stranded on the beach in an old idea. Now here's some statistics on the shared economy that I got, because that's interesting. So this is growth. Okay, this is where we're growing. Now you heard of Airbnb, Uber, and Lyft. Now these are probably the biggest, companies that have taken advantage of the shared economy. Airbnb is hotels. I mean, I have an apartment in Washington D.C. My wife and I, and we put that there. Airbnb. We make a ton of dough off of that, and they do all the work. We do absolutely nothing, just clean it. And actually, the people that stay there become friends. We go out to dinner, and it's just terrific. What that does for people. They also leave it cleaner than we left it for them. People seem so committed, or whatever, and so involved and responsible. It's sort of like staying at your aunt's house or something like that. But here's some things about those. Okay, the combined capitalization. Okay, those three businesses, Airbnb, Uber, and Lyft. You never heard about them 5 years ago. Okay, now Airbnb is worth $31 billion. That's how much it's worth, $31 billion. Uber is worth $86 billion. Lyft is worth like $7 billion. Okay, now those three things together, those three businesses together, equal the 60th largest country in the world. And there's 200 and some countries. So just those three businesses are bigger than the 60th country in the world. Airbnb, Marriott. Okay, Marriott is the biggest hoteler in the world. They're worth $38 billion, okay? Now Uber's worth $68 billion. So Marriott, the biggest hoteler in the world, is worth $38 billion. Airbnb, by the way, it is worth 30. So they're 31 billion. So they're worth as much as Marriott, which is the biggest hotel in the world, but they have more rooms. Airbnb, has millions of people making money on it. They only have a few thousand employees. Marriott has hundreds of thousands of employees. But see, Airbnb has hardly any employees, a couple thousand, that's it. They're worth the same as Marriott, but they only have 3,000 jobs, right? Marriott is the same value, but it has hundreds of thousands of jobs. But on Airbnb, millions of people are making money. Millions, like me, making money. Okay, here's what, there's 2 million bookings on Airbnb. since they launched in 2008, 2 million books. Uber has 10 million rides, daily rides, 10 million. Wow. Okay, the medallion, I don't know if you know, like in New York City, to drive a cab, you need one of these medallions. They used to be worth $1.3 million. Now they're worth 200,000. So you had one of those, you're out $1 million. That's what happened. Well, the disruption of the economy. So these are disruptions. And so, but there's other people that are making money. Millions of people are making money. I use these things. There's 600,000 drivers for Uber alone. 2 million drivers worldwide and 600,000 right in the United States, okay? Now the whole taxi cab industry itself, all the taxi cabs industry in the United States only has 200,000. And Uber has 600,000 drivers already. Okay, how about renting a castle? Well, now in Airbnb, there's 3,000 castles you could go stay in on vacation. How'd you like to stay in a castle? Or even there's 1,400 tree houses you want to stay. They say that's one of the biggest things they have. And what they're saying about Uber has cut down like DUIs. Like in Georgia, they did a study that the 32% reduction in driving while intoxicated. And it shows here that it's cheaper, like 32% cheaper to use an Airbnb than it is a hotel. So that's why, see, you're making money, they're making money, it's cheaper, we're getting out of the middleman. That's what's happening in loans. The banks are making all the money on the loans. You don't make any money by putting your money in the bank for other people to borrow. And the people are borrowing it, paying the arm and a leg. So you go peer to peer, and now it's me putting it on a website. Yeah, I'll give you a loan, or I'll pay part of that loan. So I'm willing to take 3-4% because the bank only gives me 1%, right? And you borrow the money at 5%, instead you go to the bank and it would be 7, 8, 10%. So everybody wins. And who loses? The fat cats who have that system, the existing system. The existing system is outdated because now we have the technology to make it uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated, these things. You needed that bureaucracy before. But now there's an app, there's a website, there's an algorithm to eliminate that complication that was in so many operations. That's why these things are popping up because, see, we could eliminate a lot of the work that was usually done by people. We just do it on an algorithm. And that's why, so follow that where it's going, because that's where your opportunities are too. And that's what I'm trying to show people. Okay, my stuff, by the way, I have some new programs up on Udemy. Do you know Udemy? That is the UDMEY, is that it? UDEMY, University, DEMY, and if you just Google Lesko, you'll see the programs I have, and my new ones there, one on how to use Google, one on getting information on the 25 best programs, and another one on jobs. All of those are 50% off for the next few days. If you put in the code NEW50, 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 and you want me to do research, go to lesko.com/research. And I got 3 programs there. I do research, custom research for. One is on housing, show you all the programs where you live. Second one is on getting money and help for your government. For starting a business or a nonprofit. I do that, show you like 200 programs where you live. Then another one, the 300 programs of extra ways to make money. Not only with government grants, but also opportunities on the internet like this, that I categorize them. I got about 150 of those now, that come with that report, plus all the local grants, from government offices and nonprofit organizations that help you get through life a little easier. Programs that are never advertised, that I'm trying to make sure more and more people know about. So thanks for putting up with my antics. I gotta go and do research again. Because that's what I'm about, learning new stuff. Because I gotta go out and spend the rest of the day and probably half the night learning new stuff. So I'll talk to you tomorrow most likely, or the next day, about some little new items I found that I love sharing with people, okay? Thanks again for everything. I appreciate having you there, the opportunity to do this, so thank you.